Sure.
And we are live. Okay, so hello and welcome to everyone who's joined us today on what has been our second live stream today that we are doing on the channel. And I just want to say thanks to everybody who's reached out. Considering that now we've changed, or I wouldn't say changed, but moved from podcasts to live streams. Thank you for everyone who supported us, and that has allowed us to bring a star-studded lineup today, as I can say. Very happy to have on this channel one familiar face and two new faces to the channel. But these faces, they're not new. You would have certainly, if you're following Liverpool and United, I'm sure you know who these people are. So first of all, the friend of our channel, and someone who's a very familiar face on this channel, Krishnan Bhai. Thank you so much for joining us today. As everybody who follows the channel knows, Krishnan is not just a diehard Chelsea fan, but he brings sanity and backs all of that things that have happened with numbers. So he's the Statman of this channel, and we're very happy to have you back always. And thank you so much for your support, as always, Krishnan Bhai.
Thank you, Haribhai. Thank you for having me over. It's always something I look forward to doing this. Having a busy and an insane work schedule, right? So something that I really look forward to, something to keep sanity in check in my life. So this podcast helps a lot.
Thank you so much, Krishnan Bhai. And if you faintly, people who are joining in and recognize Krishnan Bhai, not on his work on podcast, but somewhere else, Krishnan Bhai is one of the very famous entrepreneurs, you can say. He is the owner of Iyer Idli, which is a fantastic joint if you're someone who loves your idlis and South Indian food in general. So I can only urge people who are in Bangalore and who are quite frustrated with traffic or anything in life to read Sashi Tharoor's tweet on idlis, and then soon after that, go to Krishnan Bhai's Iyer Idli joint and enjoy those idlis and sambar and the chutney there.
No sambar, only chutney. So thank you.
Only chutney. Good one. Then the next one is Darshan Bhai. I just have to say what an honor it is to have you, Darshan Bhai, on our channel, because everybody who follows Liverpool or football in general pretty much know who Darshan is. He's a diehard Liverpool fan, and more importantly, a wonderful human being, because I'll just tell you why. I reached out to Darshan Bhai like 2 days ago, asking him if he would be able to join us, and he said, yes, I will be there without any hue or crime. He is, everybody knows what good work Darshan Bhai does on his Liverpool channel. It's called That Liverpool Guy. Live streams, post-match reactions, it's all there for everyone to see. So thank you so much, Darshan Bhai, for joining us on this podcast to talk about Liverpool. Because not just, it's not going to be sad. Finally, Liverpool has won a game. So probably Kushika Mohol, and we can talk. Shanmukh is already clapping for it. So.
फाइनली गुड टाइम टू टॉक अबाउट लिवरपूल. आप ऐसा कह सकते हो, मगर अगेन यार वी हैव अ गेम. आप कह लो कि नेक्स्ट ही है सनडरलैंड के सामने. बट अगेन जैसे कृष्ण भाई ने कहा ना कि इट इज ऑलवेज गुड टू हैव अ कॉन्वर्सेशन ऑन फुटबॉल विथ अदर पीपल. आप कह लो कि अलग पर्सपेक्टिव भी जानने को मिलते हैं कि लोग अपने क्लब के बारे में क्या सोच रहे हैं. तो मैं हमेशा बिल्कुल मैं वही बोलता हूँ कि भाई मैं कंटेंट क्रिएशन वो सब कुछ तो रहता है भाई. हम फैन हैं जो अपना ओपिनियन डाल रहे हैं. तो थैंक यू फॉर हैविंग मी ऑन चैनल भाई. तो बिल्कुल
I think it's always good to talk with
कैसे
Haribhai,
फैमिली
right?
आपका
Because because I think Saturday is when Haribai and I spoke. We spoke for more than 1 hour, like almost 1 hour, 10, 15 minutes. We spoke random things from football. We moved on to cricket, and it was like a random conversation. And I didn't know we spoke for 1 hour and 15 minutes. It was so thank you for that, though.
हाँ यार,
Thank.
सेम इंटरेस्ट हो ना तो यूजुअली आपका 1 घंटा निकल जाता है भाई। तो मैं कभी,
Very true.
अगर कोई मुझे बुलाता है तो मैं यूजुअली मना नहीं करता है, अनलेस कि भाई मैं, हमारा खुद का स्ट्रीम हो या फिर कहीं और कोई काम हो। बाकी आराम से आप बात कर सकते हो फुटबॉल के बारे में, बिल्कुल।
Absolutely, and that's what I really love about the community, and people who have the same interests, because it really, like Krishnan Bhai also said and Darshan Bhai said, doesn't feel so much like time has lapsed. It's more of it refreshes you after a long day of work, or makes you forget about all the frustrations you might have, or helps you vent out those frustrations. But as the
बिल्कुल,
viewers can see, this is Darshan's channel, That Liverpool Guy. He's such a wonderful human being, and has some wonderful content on his channel. He's amassed over 8,000 subscribers on Instagram and 4,200 subscribers on YouTube. And I'm sure there's a target of 5,000. And I hope you coming on this channel, Darshan Bhai, would help our viewers as well to know the quality work that you do, and hopefully you can benefit from that as well. But more importantly, I can just tell you from everything that I have seen, he's a wonderful content creator. So please go check out all of his content. And yeah, it's wonderful to have you here, Darshan Bhai.
थैंक यू भाई, थैंक यू। लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू हैव अ गुड कन्वर्सेशन भाई, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
Brilliant. And then the last person, I've saved him for the last, because we've planned to do something together for a while now. And finally, things have aligned. And I'm so very happy to have Shanmukh on the channel, because Shanmukh is one person who is a different kind of a fan, I can say. I mean, we're all fans who come here, rant, and talk about the game. But then there is one. Like few such people who connect with fans and players as such through on the canvas through his pencil strokes, you can say. So Shanmukh is one such person. Through his pencil strokes and on the canvas, he's had the opportunity to meet people like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Neville, Patrice Evra, and also had the chance to send his artwork to about 150 plus people from 15 plus countries.
Wow.
So it's a, I can only say, Shanmukh, it's a wonderful honor having you, and just very, very happy to see how things have panned out for you. I'm very, very happy to see you so successful, and also so many people have so many good things to say about not just your artwork, but also the fact how you engage on social channels with all of the fans. So thank you so much, Shanmukh, for joining us today and giving your thoughts on a Man United perspective.
No, absolutely. Thank you, Hari, for yeah, getting me on here. It's been coming for a while. I'm finally happy to be here and talk to Krishnan and Darshan also while I'm here. And thank you for the kind words. I mean, just like you've started this as a way to channel your passion for the club. That was something I started 5 years back, drawing Man United players to not just as a hobby, but to connect with fans of the club around the world, whether it be Man United fans or football fans or sports fans in general. So I mean, a lot of people have their own outlets, right? Some people will start podcasts, live stream, like fan channels. This was one way. I was not a person who would who could do analysis or match predictions or reactions, but this was my way of channeling my passion and sharing the work with fans around the world. And it got to the players and the club itself, which was like a nice side effect, but it's all for the passion for the club and the sport, right? So yeah, it's a nice feeling, and yeah, excited to have this conversation. Thank you for inviting me on here. Yes.
Brilliant. So I can just quickly share Shanmukh's page on Instagram as well. You might really want to check his content for two things. One, to see how well Shanmukh draws. I mean, I can only say it almost looks very, very lifelike. I think to capture not just movements, but sometimes, to capture history, Shanmukh on the canvas like that, and to see it being so well received, it really gives us all a huge sense of pride, knowing that
Thank you.
some person from India being able to reach not just the masses, but the players that you're reaching. But more importantly, what I wanted to say is if anybody wants to have the same opportunity of having one of your favorite sporting moments on canvas hanging around in your living room or in your bedroom that you want to wake up to every morning, I think Shanmukh is the right person to reach out to. And Shanmukh, can you let us know what you're currently working on? Because it's always interesting to hear from you what you're currently working on and your projects that you're doing at the moment.
Yes, absolutely. As we all would know, Indian's women's cricket team won the World Cup just a few weeks back, which is probably one of the biggest moments in um, cricket history, let alone like not just men's cricket or Indian cricket. It's one big milestone that we will look back on for years and decades to come, right? So I thought this was the opportunity to capture that moment in on an artwork and share that with the world. So that's what I'm doing right now. I've spent almost 3 weeks on it. I think I've got another week to complete it. So it's a composition of Jamie, Herman, and Smriti. So yeah, that should be out soon. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Brilliant.
सही है,
Can't wait to see how it
Crazy.
unfolds. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
बिल्कुल.
So, if everybody, I just wanted to say, make sure all of the links to Krishnan Bhai, Darshan Bhai, and Shanmukh's social media platforms are there in the description of the video below. So please feel free to follow them and then help them in their respective journeys. But more importantly, to see how each of them showcase their passion for the game. So today we are all here as Chelsea, United, and Liverpool fans, but generally as football fans. So I just thought before we talk about our respective teams, let's have a quick round of a Premier League quiz sort of thing. Will also probably help the viewers who are there to engage. So let me just quickly bring about two things that I have prepared, and let's see how that goes. It should come up now. Just give me a second. Okay.
ऑनेस्टली है ना भाई, मतलब आप सोचो कि आपने इतना ज्यादा टाइम है वो क्विज और क्वेश्चन और उससे बचने के लिए आपने फुटबॉल पे फोकस किया और एंड अप आप कर रहे हो फिर विद द फुटबॉल क्विज, तो बिल्कुल भाई मजा आएगा देखो.
Perfect. Great. Thank you so much, Darshan Bhai. So this is just a quick thing that I also saw from another channel that I really like. I think it's a
Oh my
wonderful
God.
way.
Oh, I love this.
Wonderful way of engaging with the fans, and also it's a wonderful way to show that how lazy you are if you aren't able to build like a traditional quiz. So I just thought, who could this be? And as you can see, I have hidden one team that this player plays for, and this player is a Premier League player. So I just wanted to know who this could be.
I'll go with the way the guys do. Okay, so
Yeah, sure,
looking
go
at
for
the
it.
appearances and looking at the number of goals, he must be a defender
Fair.
or like a
हाँ
defense
बिल्कुल.
or a defensive mid. Okay,
Yeah, probably defensive mid.
a defensive mid okay. Is that 2018? So he's basically on loan to Ipswich, Huddersfield Town, Lorient, and Crystal Palace. So
We don't know where he is now.
where he is now.
25-26 season.
No, so 2018 is open. So that
Oh, so
basically
he's
means
playing for his parent club now. So he's playing for his parent. He's playing for his
Oh,
exactly.
parent
right.
club now.
Okay. He was
So
on
is it
loan.
top 6 club?
Okay.
What
और
was a top
सोचो
6
आप कि
club, Krishnan? By, I mean, would you consider Man United a top 6 club at the
The
moment?
traditional top six. Traditional top six club.
Yes, he is. He is from a traditional top 6 club. Yes.
A traditional top six club. Who was playing at Crystal Palace on loan? Defensive midfielder.
83 अपीयरेंस अभी करंट क्लब के लिए किए हैं, 7 गोल मारा है.
हाँ 7 गोल मारा है
Since
भाई.
20, अच्छा नहीं. Oh, that must be. Okay, maybe it's some part of 2018 season and maybe current season.
Correct. Any clues? So I can start off with giving you guys a clue, but if anybody from the audience as well has already figured this out, let us know. So the parent club, he is an Englishman, and the parent club is without a doubt, it's Chelsea.
चेल्सी के पास पूरा जिला होता है भाई, तो बिल्कुल
Exactly.
चेल्सी का ही होना
Yeah,
चाहिए.
not surprised.
Not surprised at all.
Yeah, I should have gotten that. Yeah.
Palace
Crystal
last season.
Palace. Who was on Palace last year from Ben Chilwell? I can think of.
Mhm.
No. Ben
No,
Chilwell's on
it's
loan.
not
No,
Ben
no,
Chilwell,
no.
but close.
Yeah, but again, Ben Chilwell, Leicester City, and all of those. Now he's in Strasbourg.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Ben Chilwell is not, but you're on the right track, Krishnan. Bhai. So think of someone who did also something during the weekend. He was instrumental. He even scored a goal this Premier League weekend for Chelsea. So
Oh,
अरे
from
आर्सेनल के
the.
सामने
Right,
खेले.
Chalobah.
हाँ, चलो
exactly,
हाँ.
it is
Oh,
Chalobah.
okay.
Okay.
Yes.
भाई ये
Oh
मुझे
my
नहीं पता था
God.
कि वो इप्सविच
I
में
had
लोन ले रहा
no
है.
clue.
हाँ.
Trevor Chalobah.
The
I had
lowland
no
part.
clue.
अगेन यार,
Okay.
यू कैन नॉट ब्लेम अस बिकॉज़ चेल्सी के इतने सारे प्लेयर इतनी
Ha.
जगह
Oh yeah.
You can't blame me also.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me
I
to keep track. I even
absolutely.
forget that Sterling is a part of our squad now.
What?
I almost forget. Raheem Sterling
Why?
is still a part of our squad. We have so many
How?
players like that. We have so many
Where
players
is he
like that.
right now? I don't know. What? Where is Sterling now?
With
बस
Chelsea.
पड़ा
Oh
हुआ है,
God.
सैलरी ले रहा है बंदा, मतलब
Disasi,
deserve
Alex
Oh.
Disasi is also part of our squad. He's the captain of the under-21 reserves team. So you can
Oh
imagine.
my
Okay.
God.
I think
Wow.
this quiz, this one should have been for Maresca as well, just to show a picture of the player and ask him if he knows the player himself.
Yeah. True.
Okay, let's go with one more before we start. So this is another Premier League player who is currently playing for his team. So started out at Flamengo, so that could be a good.
So he's a Brazilian
clue.
to start off
Brazilian
with.
guy.
Okay.
हम्म.
Brazilian.
Going by the number of goals, he could be a midfielder, an attacking midfielder.
I would say he's a poor striker. Could
Or a poor
could
striker.
be a, yeah, could be a cam or a poor striker.
That is
Yeah, more likely like a, I mean, Milan was very bad. Lyon, okay, up until 22, and then 22 onwards, he's been at the same Premier League club.
Yes.
Uh,
हमारा तो कोई लियोन से आया नहीं है, तो लिवरपूल का प्लेयर नहीं होगा, मतलब अभी रिसेंटली कोई नहीं आया है.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
United का भी नहीं है.
So how many
Yeah.
Brazilians are playing in the Premier League right now? Richarlison, I can think of.
Yeah, that's a
Paqueta,
good one.
Paqueta, Casemiro. Oh wait,
No,
Paqueta.
Lucas
Yes,
Hang
Paqueta.
on.
it is Lucas Paqueta.
It
Correct.
is okay.
It
You know, when I
is.
saw Flamengo, Paqueta was the first name that came to my mind, but I was like, did he play for Lyon at all?
Yeah,
Oh wow,
he
okay.
did.
That
So
was lucky.
I just put one person for the first question for the good reasons, and then one person for the bad reasons, because anybody who
Yeah.
watched Game Week 13, they have huge questions over Paqueta and what he was trying to do seriously, because I did not understand. Anybody can, put the method to that madness to explain what did he really want to get himself booked. I mean, it was just crazy what he was trying to do there.
हाँ,
The
मतलब
reason
really unnecessary जिस तरीके से उसने वो कार्ड लिया है ना. Of course,
Exactly.
people are मेकिंग अ क्वेश्चन, वो जो बैट है, बैटिंग का जो उसका वो सब कुछ है उस पे। मगर कल उसने ट्वीट किया है कि भाई ही इज गोइंग थ्रू दिस, बोलते हैं ना कि एंजाइटी, या फिर बोल लो कि मेंटली अभी उसको ऐसा लग रहा है कि भाई व्हेनेवर अ रेफरी गिव्स हिम अ कार्ड है ना, देन पीपल विल ऑलवेज रिलेट हिम विद दैट सिचुएशन। वो एक्चुअली अभी क्लियर भी हो चुका है, उसको जो चार्जेस लगे थे उसको क्लियर किया गया है कि भाई इज नॉट गिल्टी। मगर अगेन कभी कभी होता है कि भाई इवन सिटी 115 चार्जेस से कुछ आ नहीं रहा, तो उसका मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ किया नहीं। तो पीपल विद गुड कनेक्शन यूजुअली ऐसी चीजों से बच जाता है। इट वाज
But
अननेसेसरी मेरे हिसाब से, तो मैं इतना ही बोल सकता हूँ। उससे ज्यादा
exactly.
उस इंसिडेंट के बारे में आई कैन नॉट से मोर
Yeah.
देन दैट मेरे हिसाब से।
Yeah. And considering now how the laws are with the referee, where you, for the smallest of things, you can get booked, he
हाँ,
really talked himself into a red card. So that was what was
अरे
insane. Yeah.
There
Very
always
एलिसन
been
surprising.
भाग के
there
आके
always
उसको
been
रोका भाई, फिर
inconsistencies.
भी।
And there was, and see,
Exactly.
now that you spoke about referees, right? There's always been inconsistencies with how each referee looks at a particular situation.
Yeah.
Simple example: the same challenge what Caicedo got him a red card. The same thing is what Bentancur challenged Reece James for a couple of weeks back. The exact same challenge.
Yeah.
Bentancur was given a yellow, Caicedo was given a red. So it all depends on how a referee looks at it, and with the history of referee. Arsenal had more yellow cards than what they had shots on targets for that game.
True.
Literally at one point of time, yeah, 3 of the 4 center backs of Arsenal were all on yellow cards. So
Oh,
it all depends on how a referee looks at a foul at that situation,
Yeah.
and there have been extreme inconsistencies with VAR ever since
Yeah.
it was introduced. This is not a this season problem. Ever since
हाँ हाँ,
VAR was introduced, when early 2018, 2019, this has always been the case. So
अरे आपको
sometimes you
याद
feel,
होगा कृष्ण भाई की पिछले साल है ना, उन्होंने वेबसाइट पे वो एक फोटो डाला था कि व्हाट इज फाउल इनसाइड द बॉक्स। फोटो था मैकलिस्टर का, डोकू उसको किक कर रहा है। एक्चुअल मैच में उसको ना तो फाउल दिया गया था, ना तो पेनल्टी दी गई थी। नेक्स्ट सीजन
exactly,
दे आर डिस्प्लेइंग दैट फोटो एज अ फाउल इन अ
exactly.
पेनल्टी बॉक्स। अरे भाई
oh
ऐसे
my
फाउल नहीं
God.
किया।
Sometimes you
इतना
feel, I
ज्यादा
know, like,
inconsistency।
see, exactly. Sometimes I feel, like the game is better off without VAR. Yeah, with
Mm.
inconsistencies, and these small inconsistencies eventually reflect and in the result of the game, and like it goes a long way in the title race as well. Because with every game being crucial from now on, now we have progressed to game week 13. We have about 25 game weeks left. Everything is going to be crucial now. So these small errors, from a referee's part, these inconsistencies will have a long say in the big picture. So
बिल्कुल
Yeah.
बिल्कुल।
Yeah.
But the two
So
game weeks. Please go ahead, Shanmukh, please. You were
no,
saying.
no, I was saying. So I just saw the highlights of Liverpool West Ham. So उसमें तो ऐसा लगा था दर्शन भाई कि it was from the same incident. क्या मतलब? He went and argued with the ref. He got a yellow, and then he kept on fighting, and then 2 minutes later he got
हाँ
booked again.
हाँ हाँ, वो बहुत ही अग्रेसिवली उसने रिएक्ट किया। अब उसको
Yeah,
एक बार आप चलो कि उस बोला कि भाई चले जाओ तुम, वैसी वाली बात। मगर वो कैप्टन, आप कह लो रेंटिंग टुवर्ड्स रेफरी, इतना खराब वो बोल रहा था ना कि भाई हमारा प्लेयर एलिसन दौड़ के आया कि भाई तू चुप हो जा, वैसे भी तुझे
yeah,
लोग कार्ड दे देते हैं। आप सोचो
हाँ,
ओपोनेंट प्लेयर आपके लिए आ रहा है, फिर भी बंदा जा रहा
हाँ,
है रेफरी के पीछे, तो
oh
बोलेगा
yeah,
he
ही
asked
कार्ड।
for it. He
oh
asked for it. Yeah, he asked for
yeah,
it.
हाँ
yeah, and as soon as he got his second yellow, he was like clapping and immediately walking away. So people felt that was very sus of him to do that. It was weird, and he just came back from suspension apparently. I don't know if that's true.
हाँ
So I mean that,
हाँ
yeah, that is definitely fishy. I mean, I don't know,
I think there's
but
something
that was
going
strange.
around. There's something going around in with the weird red cards because Everton, Man United, I have never seen. I've watched football for a couple of years. I mean, I would say more than a couple of years. I haven't seen that incident that I've never seen two players fight each other and get a red card. And then next game
Yeah,
week, you see something like this where this player is getting talked into. He literally talked himself into a red card. So yeah,
yeah.
something's weird
I
over
mean,
there.
that Everton red, I mean, a player slapping his own teammate and getting sent off, that is that is the third time it has ever happened in the Premier League.
Yeah.
That it's so rare. I didn't know that. Like, yeah, I thought like that shouldn't be a sending off. Surely, I never knew that that is also an offense, a red card offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Amarim had a wonderful thing to say. Last thing before we move on to other respective teams, but Amarim said we lacked fight after that game, and he would have liked his players to smash each other up or fight each other.
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
great,
agreed. 100% agree.
Absolutely. Perfect. With that, and also with the release of Stranger Things, I guess it has all affected all of these players as well, I guess, because they are probably in the upside down with all of these ridiculous ways of getting themselves into red cards and stuff. But
True.
from red cards to the team which plays in red, who finally managed to win a match. Darshan Bhai, take us away. Isaac opens his account
great.
and Liverpool win. How does it
हाँ
feel?
भाई इट फील्स लाइक कि भाई आप 3-4 हफ्तों से ऑक्सीजन नहीं मिल रहा है और किसी ने आपको ऑक्सीजन प्रोवाइड कर लिया वैसा है भाई। और एक्चुअली मेरा मेरा ऑनेस्टली मेरा रिएक्शन ऐसा था, सभी ने लगान मूवी देखी होगी और जब वो जीत जाता है ना तो वो नहीं बोलता हम जीत गए हैं, वैसा ही रिएक्शन था। आई वाज सो हैप्पी फाइनली। मतलब ऑनेस्टली मैं बोलूं इतना ज्यादा मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि मैं एक विन के लिए इतना ज्यादा टेंशन में होऊंगा या फिर डेस्परेट होऊंगा, मगर फाइनली विन एंड अ क्लीन शीट व्हिच वाज, आप ऐसा कह लो कि एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं है एट करंट टाइम इन लिवरपूल। जिस तरीके से कोनाटे का फॉर्म जा रहा है, केरकेस इज स्ट्रगलिंग आल्सो एंड वी हैव आवर इश्यूज ऑन राइट बैक पोजीशन आल्सो। तो क्लीन शीट रखना बहुत ही अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस था। इफ यू हैव सीन दैट मैच ना, फ्लोरान वर्ट्स जिस तरीके से खेल रहा था वो दिख रहा था कि भाई वाई लिवरपूल स्पेंड दैट मच अमाउंट। अभी भी लोग बोलते रहेंगे कि भाई 0-0-12, बिल्कुल बोल सकते हैं, बोलने वाले बिल्कुल बोल सकते हैं, मगर अगर आपने देखा हो वो मैच तो बिल्कुल आप इम्प्रेस हुए होगे उसके परफॉर्मेंस के साथ। मैं तो खुश हूँ, फाइनली ईजाक का गोल भी आया, इवन दो आई स्टिल हैव सम क्वेश्चंस अराउंड ईजाक और उसकी साइनिंग के बारे में, मगर फिर भी एक गोल आया, अच्छी बात है। अभी तो मैं खुश हूँ, मैं इतना ही बोल सकता हूँ।
Bye, but Darshan bhai, thank you so much for all those points cover करने के लिए. But let's talk about Isak, right? I think there was इस week Joey Barton ने एक comment मारा था कि ये Somali impersonator है and you know things like that. But let's be real, Isak did not have a preseason at Liverpool. And this transfer end of the transfer window is very very toxic by whatever said and done. He was not, Liverpool did not want to make him did not want to give up. Newcastle didn't want to give up Isak, sorry, and Liverpool wanted him. He did a strike, he did various things in order to get the move, and then he comes into a Liverpool team which probably, you know how to say this, lot of new signings by, and he's not had a preseason, and fitness also wasn't that great. So do you see now with this game, it's more importantly you can still see the instincts of a striker that Isak has, because even the strike, it's not like he ran and you know he showed his strength, and but it was more of an instinctive finish, and
हाँ
it's good
बिल्कुल,
to
it
see
was
from that in a striker. Yeah.
actually it was his only involvement which looks very good. Apart from
Yeah.
that in that match I don't think Isaac has contributed that much. उसके पहले भी उसको 2 चांस मिले थे, मगर उतनी ज्यादा उसकी फिनिशिंग उतनी अच्छी नहीं लगी, और वो दिख रहा है कि ही इज नॉट मैच फिट, जो हमने देखा है उसको पहले सीजन्स में कि भाई न्यूकासल के लिए जब वो रेगुलरली 20-30 गोल के आसपास करता है तब वो अलग स्पीड पे अलग तरीके से खेलता है। उसकी जो आप बोलते हैं ना कि एजिलिटी बोलते हैं कि भाई बहुत ही फ्लेक्सिबल बंदा दिखता है, वो नहीं दिख रहा है अभी। ही इज टू स्टफ इन माय ओपिनियन। भाई एक जगह पे से मूवमेंट उसके उतनी अच्छी नहीं आ रही। और ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग एज अ लिवरपूल आई नो कि हमारा प्लेयर है, हमने इतना ज्यादा स्पेंड किया है, मगर आई ऑलवेज क्वेश्चन कि भाई हम क्यों जा रहे हैं इसके पीछे, व्हेन यू नो कि भाई वो एक ऐसा बंदा है जिसको जिसको आपको सर्विस प्रोवाइड करनी पड़ती है रादर देन समवन लाइक एथिटिके जो यूजुअली ड्रॉप करता है, बॉल रिसीव करने की कोशिश करता है। ये है ना, आप ऐसा कह लो कि हालैंड की टाइप है। अब आपको उसको, अगर आपने उसको प्रोवाइड किया तो डेफिनेटली ही विल स्कोर 20-25 गोल्स इन प्रीमियर लीग, मगर आपको पूरी सिस्टम चेंज करनी पड़ेगी इसके लिए। और लेट्स होप कि कुछ करके हम फाइंड कर ले वो सॉल्यूशन जिसकी वजह से उसका बेस्ट आ पाए। मगर गोल आया अच्छी बात है, मगर उसके अलावा बहुत ही आइसोलेटेड था। अगर आपके पास वो ऑप्टा का एक चार्ट है, अगर ना हो तो मैं थोड़ी देर में शेयर कर दूंगा, वहां पे आपको दिख जाएगा कि ही इज वेरी आइसोलेटेड भाई। इवन अगेंस्ट फ्रॉम द नॉटिंघम गेम, उसके बाद भी उसको एक और गेम हमने खिलाया वहां पे भी, और ये वाली मैच में भी आप कह लो कि भाई बंदा अकेला ही खेल रहा है वैसा लग रहा है। तो बिल्कुल आई
भाई
वुड
बट
लाइक
अपने
टू
एक
नो अदर्स ओपिनियन आल्सो कि भाई कृष्ण भाई अपने क्या सोच रहे हैं, और इवन अपने आपको भी क्या लगता है, बिल्कुल शेयर करें। मैं तब तक वो सर्च कर लेता हूँ, मेरे पास वो
हाँ
है।
श्योर
See, I mean, it was expected that Liverpool would walk away with 3 points against West Ham. I think Haribai and I were discussing this over the weekend as well, that it would not be a convincing victory for Liverpool, but yes, they will just scrape through, and that's exactly what happened, right? Because surprisingly, Salah was benched for this game. Yeah,
हाँ,
I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah.
expected Salah to start, but he was benched. I mean, this was a much needed victory for Liverpool after what happened midweek for them. They lost 4-1 to PSV. Yeah. So, and I mean, I wouldn't say that this is the beginning of Liverpool's rise to the summit. Still a lot of work to be done. I think Slot still has to find the right combination and the right formation. Uh, Darshan Bhai, you tried comparing Isaac with Haaland. Haaland is more physical. Isaac is not that physical, right? In any situation, Haaland will get the ball past the defenders, but Isaac is not able to do that. Yeah, Haaland has a more physical approach. Isaac does not have. So it will definitely take a while for him to settle at Liverpool. And I mean, the same case with Words as well, right? He comes with a huge tag, the price tag on him, and that's putting a lot of pressure on Words as well. So it's not going to be easy, considering Liverpool are going to be playing against Sunderland the next I think next couple of days, and we all know how Sunderland have been, right? They've been giant killers this season, so it's not going to be easy for Liverpool. They also have the pressure of midweek Champions League games, and
Yeah.
we all know how December can be tricky for all clubs. It's not just for Liverpool; it's going to be tricky for everyone. So. Slot has a big challenge because he has to find the right combination, and I we're actually like almost 30% done into the season, and it's worrying because even to this date we don't know where Wirtz, Salah, Ekitike are all going to be there on the pitch. So
yeah
बिल्कुल,
it's it's
दैट इज मेरे हिसाब से वो ज्यादा कंसर्निंग है। इट इज अ मेजर कंसर्न कि भाई जब भी आपको खिलाना है ना, तो आपको, अगर आप फ्लोरन वर्ड्स को खिला रहे हो तो उसको ऐसी कनेक्टिविटी दे। देखो अभी आप देख रहे हो जो तो सभी लोग पास कर रहे हैं, आप कह लो कि वर्ड्स को। अभी जब साला होता है ना, तो ऑफ कोर्स मसल मेमोरी लोगों की है कि भाई यूजुअली लोग साला के साथ जाते हैं, उस एरिया में बॉल जाते हैं। जितना थिक लाइन है ना, उतनी ज्यादा पासिंग हुई है, आप ऐसा कंसीडर कर सकते हो यहाँ पे। तो आप देखो ईजा कितना आइसोलेटेड। एक नोटिंगम वाले गेम था ना हमारे, एक भी बंदे ने
1-3-0.
किसी ने भी इजाक के साथ वो एक पास नहीं हुआ है। तो वो दिखाता है कि भाई आपने, ऑफ कोर्स हमारा क्लब है ना बहुत ही डेटा ड्रिवन है, और माइकल एडवर्ड्स और रिचर्ड ह्यूज है जो रिक्रूटर है हमारे, या फिर सीईओ, या फिर आप फुटबॉल ऑपरेशन के हेड्स है, वो जाने जाते हैं कि भाई नंबर एनालिसिस इनमें जाके बंदे को साइन करते। तो इन्होंने ये तो देखा होगा ना कि भाई ही इज नॉट दैट काइंड ऑफ पर्सन की जो नीचे आके आपके मिडफील्डर के साथ इंक्लूड 1-2 करे, बॉल लेके कैरी करे। दैट इज माई मोर कंसर्न कि भाई आप कैसे इंक्लूड करोगे। बिकॉज इसे एक चीज तो है भाई कि इट इज हाई टाइम कि भाई हम जो बिल्डअप करते हैं फ्रॉम मोहम्मद साला, इट हैज टू चेंज, क्योंकि उस 2 साल है हमारे पास, आप कह लो 1 और साल है मोहम्मद साला का। आपको नए बंदे चाहिए होंगे, नए लीडर्स चाहिए होंगे जिन पे आप रिलाई कर सकते हो फॉर द फ्यूचर, और वो है फ्लोरान और ईजाक। तो आपने ये जो बेट लगाई है कितनी सही है, और कितना जल्दी उन पे आप चेंज करोगे, वो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। तो
बट भाई एक मिनट, कृष्ण भाई, आई जस्ट वांटेड टू आस्क वन क्वेश्चन टू दर्शन भाई। भाई आपने जो बोला ना, और आपने वो जो हीट मैप दिखाया ईसैक का और विट्स का, सभी लाइंस बहुत मतलब थिक है, और सिर्फ एक लाइन थिन है ईसैक का, एंड वो सबसे फारदेस्ट अहेड ऑफ द पिच है, आइसोलेटेड, आपने बोला। नाउ आपने जब सीजन स्टार्ट हुआ एकिटिके के साथ स्टार्ट हुआ, और मतलब जो हम देख रहे थे लिवरपूल के साथ, इतना फ्लूइड था, मतलब Ekitike was dropping back, receiving the pass, carrying the ball. His pace was electrifying. And ever since Isak has come in, all of this has been missing. Because with Premier League, let me tell you, whatever happens, when a attacking player runs at a defender, right? In that split second, it's very difficult for the defender to make a choice. It's always very frightening to see, and it's also very beautiful to see from a neutral perspective. So do you think Isak, जब टीम पे आ रहा है, ये सब हो रहा है लिवरपूल, is it better not to start Ekitike, play him for 60 minutes, then get Isak off the bench for that confidence and some also some minutes when Liverpool are already 2 goals up? Because ये मतलब मेरे को एक बड़ा क्वेश्चन सवाल है मेरे को पूछने के लिए.
At this point, I will agree with you कि भाई you have to start Ekitike right now. Even आप कह लो ना कि जब इंटरनेशनल ब्रेक खत्म हुआ and we played against Nottingham Forest, everyone expected us to win against Forest, but आपने देखा कि Ekitike जो फ्रांस के लिए गोल किया है 2 दिन पहले, आपने उसको ड्रॉप कर दिया है, और आपने इसाक को स्टार्ट करा है जो 3 महीनों में नहीं खेला है उतना ज्यादा फुटबॉल. Again, that was again a questionable decision by Arne Slot. देखो, अगर कोई मुझे पहली बार देख रहा है और उनको ऐसा लग रहा है कि भाई ये बंदा इजाक को हेट कर रहा है, नहीं भाई, मैं बहुत खुश हूं कि हमने इजाक को साइन किया. इट जस्ट सम प्लेयर नीड टाइम एंड स्पेशल ट्रीटमेंट टू इंटीग्रेट इन द टीम. अगर आपने बड़े बड़े मैनेजर को भी देखा हो, बड़े बड़े प्लेयर को आराम से लाते थे. हमारे क्लब का एग्जांपल दो तो फबिन्यो भाई, उस पॉइंट पे हमने 55 मिलियन पे साइन किया था. हम उतने ज्यादा पैसे नहीं स्पेंड करते, तो 55 मिलियन वाली साइनिंग 4 महीने के लिए हमको नहीं दिखी थी, क्योंकि क्लॉप ने टाइम लिया उसके साथ, उसको राइट मोमेंट पे इंट्रोड्यूस किया, धीरे धीरे मैच दिए, फिर स्टार्ट करे. तो आई थिंक स्लॉट का थोड़ा एक्सपीरियंस यहाँ पे दिखता है कि भाई जो बंदे वो प्रीफर करता है ना, वो अनकंडीशनल है. इफ यू आर फॉलोइंग इंडियन क्रिकेट ऑल्सो ना, ये गौतम गंभीर का थोड़ा वाइब देता है कि भाई उसको हर्षित राणा पसंद है ना, तो वो हर्षित राणा को खिलाएगा, नो मैटर कि उसका फॉर्म है या नहीं है. सिंपल सी बात. वो ऐसी बात.
What a comparison! What a comparison!
Amazing analogy. Thank you so much, दर्शन भाई. दर्शन भाई, इधर एक केविन का एक क्वेश्चन है. ये बोल रहा है कि आई फील लिवरपूल अटैक लुक मोर बेटर लाइक अगेंस्ट जो खेला है. So he said that would that mean Slot needs to keep benching Salah to help Wits find his form and then slowly integrate Salah back? Is this possible, by considering Salah has been your best ever player?
हाँ,
I mean,
मतलब
for the last few seasons.
बिल्कुल, ये है ना, थोड़ा बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन है, मगर अगेन दिस इज अ राइट टाइम कि आप साला को अभी बेंच पे बिठा सकते हो, क्योंकि आपको पता है 15th ऑफ दिसंबर के बाद वो अवेलेबल नहीं होगा बिकॉज ही इज गोइंग टू एफकॉन. दिस इज द राइट टाइम. आप अपनी टीम को एक एक्सक्यूज भी दे सकते हो कि हम प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं कि भाई फॉर एफकॉन, और आप साला का ईगो भी उतना हर्ट नहीं कर रहे हो कि भाई वो उसको आपने बेंच पे बिठा दिया. और देखो, मैं साला को बहुत पसंद करता हूँ, लोग मुझे साला पगलू बोलते हैं, मगर फिर भी इस सीजन जो उसने परफॉर्म किया ना, इट इज, आप कह लो कि भाई डिजास्टरस. मतलब इतना खराब मैंने साला को कभी नहीं देखा. तो ऑफ कोर्स आपको थोड़ा उसको बिठाओ, जब भी हमको जरूरत पड़े गोल की आप लाओ. ही स्टिल इफेक्टिव भाई. मैं ऐसा नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि हमारा मेन इशू है कि हमने चांस भी क्रिएट किए मगर हम उतना ज्यादा कन्वर्ट नहीं कर पाए. अब आप उसको ब्लेम कर सकते हो साला पे, गैप्को पे, एकिटिके पे, जो भी स्टार्ट किया है एज अ अटैकर. क्योंकि अगर आप नंबर ऑफ चांसेस देखो ना, तो शायद कृष्ण भाई भी अग्री करेंगे या उनको पता होगा कि भाई हम प्रीमियर लीग में टॉप 3 चांस क्रिएशन में हैं हम अभी भी. तो हमने चांस तो बनाए हैं मेरे हिसाब से, मगर फिनिश नहीं कर पाए हम उतना ज्यादा, और
One
उसका
point
मेन
I'd
रीजन
like,
है कि हाँ
one point
हाँ
I'd like
सॉरी
to make here is at least for the next foreseeable future, Words and Isaac are your future. Yeah. So it should be the other way around, that Words and Isaac are the core of your attack. Yeah, they are the pinnacle of your attack, and Salah should be kept more for European experience and for situations after 60 minutes or after 65 minutes. But the focal point of your attack going forward should only be Words and Isaac, because Salah's contract is max 1-2 years, and you know that he's not going to renew his contract or be in Liverpool. He'll probably go to Saudi or go elsewhere. So if you really want to be title contenders, you have to look past Salah. And whether Isaac not having a preseason, that's really questionable, because Liverpool went into signing Isaac knowing his situation at Newcastle, right? They
Correct.
knew that he threw a fuss at Newcastle. They knew that he's not going to play for Newcastle. And despite knowing the fact that he did not have a preseason, they signed him. Yeah. So that
इट इज वेरी अनलाइकली, मतलब आप कह लो ना कि हमारी प्रोफाइल टाइप की साइनिंग नहीं है, मतलब हम
Correct.
यूजुअली ऐसे नहीं जाते कि भाई ये पकड़ो 135 मिलियन हमने लाया है प्लेयर, हम यूजुअली एक ही तरीके वाले बंदे हैं, हम जाते हैं कि भाई हाईली रेटेड 80 मिलियन, और अगर काम कर गया तो 130 का हो जाएगा। हम कभी नहीं जाते कि भाई आपका हालैंड के बाद सबसे बढ़िया स्ट्राइकर प्रीमियर लीग में है इज़ाक, आपने जो प्राइस डाली उसको हमने फुलफिल की और लेके आए। दिस इज, पता नहीं क्या, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि रिचर्ड ह्यूज वापस आया ना तो उसने एक स्टेटमेंट डाला था फॉर लिवरपूल फैंस, और जब भी वो एड्रेस करते हैं ना लोगों को तब कि भाई वी आर बिगेस्ट क्लब ऑफ इंग्लैंड एंड वी शुड एक्ट लाइक बिगेस्ट क्लब। तो इसीलिए मुझे लगता है कि ये मोर ऑफ ईगो वाली साइनिंग हो गई। अगेन मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि मैं बहुत खुश हूँ इजाक के साथ, मगर जिस तरीके से आपने लाया है ना वो थोड़ा क्वेश्चनेबल है ही है भाई, क्योंकि
this
आपको
was
अगर
more
लाना
of
था
a
तो आप
panic.
पहले ला लेते भाई मेरे हिसाब से।
See, honestly, in my perspective, Isaac was a panic signing because Luis Diaz left Liverpool, Darwin Nunez left Liverpool. Okay, you did not have someone who, and Salah's contract expiring in the next 1-2 years, you did not have someone in the forefront. Okay, someone to lead the attack, and obviously Liverpool wanted a Premier League pro and striker. Okay, the only Premier League pro and striker available at that point was Isaac. So this is more, in my perspective, this is more of like, okay, like I just have to, do something to fill my shoes currently. And it was more of a panic signing than, I would say a data-driven signing, if you ask me. Because they did not know, they wanted a striker at that point of time. They lost Luis Diaz, and Luis Diaz was not performing well in the Arne Slot system. And so was Darwin Nunez. So they needed someone to fill in that 9 or a false 9 role. There was nobody
Also,
at that point of time.
we lost Jota also ना, मतलब अगेन हम देखो वी कैन नॉट प्लान ऐसी सिचुएशन का, मगर उन लोगों को तो देखना ही पड़ता है ना कि भाई आपके पास 2 स्ट्राइकर नहीं है, आपको अभी 2 स्ट्राइकर लाने पड़ेंगे। तो उनका पहला टारगेट था कि भाई इजाक के पीछे जाए, तभी जब न्यूकासल ने मना कर दिया हमने फोकस शिफ्ट करके एकिटिके के पीछे गए, मगर ये सब कुछ हुआ तो आपको एक और स्ट्राइकर की जरूरत पड़ी, और आपको पता था कि भाई वहां पे अभी भी वो स्ट्राइक पे बैठा हुआ है, व्हाई नॉट गो एंड गेट आवर फर्स्ट चॉइस स्ट्राइकर। वैसा हुआ होगा मेरे हिसाब से, अगेन आई एम जस्ट अज्यूमिंग कि क्या हुआ होगा, मगर अगेन यही है कि भाई होपफुली जितना जल्दी सॉर्ट कर दे उतना अच्छा है।
बट आई थिंक जो मेरे हिसाब से है ना भाई, वन थिंग दैट हैज ऑलवेज वर्कड अंडर क्लॉप वाज ही वाज एबल टू ब्रिंग अनप्रूवन जेम्स, be it Salah, Mane, Firmino, Fabinho, all of those were he bought them at such a stage where they were going to take the next step, and that next step was going to be at Liverpool. So they came at prices in the 30 to 60 or 30 to 70 million. So what happened was, even when they were in their integration phase into Liverpool, he was able to bench them. He was able to slowly integrate them into the team and then make sure that they played. But now when Ekitike, Isak and Wirtz come at that amount of money, there is so much pressure if he kept them in the bench. There is so much pressure when they play and they don't perform well. So this is very uncommon to Liverpool. This is exactly what Darshan Bhai, when he said, right, uncommon signings. It was not just uncommon signings, but also uncommon prices. The prices that usually Man United, City, not even City, I
Chelsea.
think Man United and Chelsea would
Chelsea
probably pay,
pay.
for example. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. One last point regarding Liverpool before we switch to Man United. Darshan Bhai, there's a comment from Kevin. He says, what about 4-4-2 Ehitike and Isak allowing Sabi and Craven as core CMs? What do you think about this guy?
केविन भाई देखो, सबसे पहले तो वी यूजुअली प्ले विद अ डबल पिवट. जो आप बोल रहे हो ना कि मिडफील्ड में दो बंदे, हम दो के साथ ही खेलते हैं. एंड आपने देखा होगा कि सोबोसलाई आजकल उसको राइट बैक पे डाला जाता है, मगर जब भी वो मिडफील्ड में भी होता है ना, तो ही इज प्लेइंग लाइक, आप कह लो कि फॉल्स नाइन बोल लो, सपोर्टिंग स्ट्राइकर बोल लो, जो आपको जो टर्म यूज करना है उसके लिए. तो हम डबल पिवट के साथ खेलते हैं. अगेन गैप को एक ऐसा बंदा है ना, मैंने जो हर्षित राणा वाला एग्जांपल दिया, वो गैप को के लिए दिया कि भाई हर्षित मतलब गैप को कभी बेंच पे नहीं जाएगा. अगर आप एट दिस पॉइंट किसी भी लिवरपूल फैन को पूछो ना कि भाई कौन सा बंदा है वो इज नेल्ड ऑन स्टार्टर, इवन दो ही इज नॉट परफॉर्मिंग एज आवर एक्सपेक्टेशन, गैप को विल स्टार्ट, ग्रेवनबर्च विल स्टार्ट. उसका थोड़ा डच बायसनेस है हमारे मैनेजर का. अगेन पिछले साल वो काम किया था, लोगों को था कि भाई वाई ग्रेवनबर्च इज स्टार्टिंग एज अ नंबर 6, और उसका क्या सीजन गया है वो आप देखो. मगर इस साल वो नहीं हो रहा है कि भाई एवरीवन क्वेश्चनिंग कि वाई गैप को स्टिल स्टार्टिंग, जब किएजा आपका प्लेयर ऑफ द मंथ बना था 2 महीने पहले, और बंदा 240 मिनट ही खेला है अभी तक. मतलब आप सोचो कि जो सिर्फ बेंच से आके कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है वो आपका प्लेयर ऑफ द मंथ क्लब का बन रहा है, तो कितनी खराब हालत हुई होगी. तो अगेन कुछ कुछ स्टार्टिंग पोजीशन है जहां पे बहुत क्लियरली बायसनेस दिख रही है. आई डोंट थिंक 4-4-2 एकितिके एंड इजाक कैन वर्क. ये मेरा पर्सनल ओपिनियन है. उसकी रीजन है कि भाई आपको कुछ करके फ्लोरियन वर्ट्स को फिट करना पड़ेगा. आई डोंट थिंक फ्लोरियन वर्ट्स वाइड एरिया में उतना ज्यादा अच्छा करता है. आपको फ्रीडम दे सकते हो उसको, ही इज वेरी गुड इन राइट चैनल, लेफ्ट चैनल, जो पिछले मैच में हमने देखा. मगर अगेन आउट एंड आउट वाइड प्लेयर, आई डोंट थिंक ही इज, मतलब ही इज नॉट मेंट फॉर वो विड्थ. अब वो सेंट्रली होगा ना, उतना ज्यादा आपको इफेक्ट करेगा. वो पिछला मैच जिन्होंने देखा वो सभी लोग अग्री करेंगे मेरे साथ कि जब भी वो स्पेसिस में होता है, पॉकेट में होता है, तो आपको दिखता है कि भाई इज अ ग्रेट प्लेयर. मतलब मैं तो फैन हो गया है, वैसी वाली बात आएगी आपको. बहुत ही बढ़िया खेला
An
पिछले.
ideal formation in this scenario would be a 4-3-2-1 because Isaac completely up front, Florian Wirtz and Ekitike right behind Isaac, who are also pretentious who are also false nines. Yeah. And then your 3-man midfield and then your 4-man defense. If you have to fit all of this in a squad. Again, this is not a standard textbook formation. It again depends on which opposition you're playing at, whether they're playing a high line. So as I said, right, it's not a good headache for Arne Slot currently. It is a bad headache because he has like so many pieces of a puzzle in front of him. He does not know where to start. He does not know how to put those pieces of his puzzle together. So maybe Liverpool definitely need time to consistently find that rhythm to say, yes, this is going to be my starting 11. This is going to be the position that we're going to play at. You know, let's face it, right? Caicedo and Enzo came with pretty heavy price tags from Brighton and Benfica, and it took a while for them to settle, right? And the problem for us was they had to go through so many managers: Graham Potter, Frank Lampard, Pochettino, now Enzo. So it was a difficult transition for them, but eventually they did find their rhythm. So it will take time. As I said, this is not like a 12-month project. This is not like a one-season project. This is a long one. So it is you have to like patiently wait it out and see what happens. You can't expect there's no overnight result here in this case.
मैं छोटा सा चीज बोलना चाहता हूँ कि भाई देखो, अगेन पिछले सीजन व्हेन वी साइंड आर्ने स्लॉट एज अ मैनेजर, एवरीवन वाज रेडी टू गिव अ वन ट्रांजिशन सीजन टू मैनेजर. अब पिछले सीजन में उसको एक भी साइनिंग नहीं मिली. अब देखो क्लॉप की ही टीम थी जो खेल रही थी, और हम समहाउ वी मैनेज टू विन द लीग. तो इस सीजन तो भाई आप देख सकते हो, फाइनली आप कह लो कि भाई सनराइजर हैदराबाद, हाँ भाई एक्चुअली ऐसा ही लग रहा है
by
ऑनेस्टली, मैं
this.
ऐसा बोलूं
सिर्फ
मगर
आप नहीं क्रिकेट एनालॉजीज नहीं दे रहे, साकेत भाई भी is joining in on
Saket
the
bhai is
fun.
also doing, yeah.
बिल्कुल
No,
बिल्कुल एकदम
honestly,
बढ़िया।
when my first reaction when Isaac signed for Liverpool, my first reaction on the Chelsea group was, guys, PL season is done. Even before it started. Because on squad, on
Yeah.
paper, this is like you
Oh,
look at Florian Wirtz, the season he had with Leverkusen last year, right? It was
It's
crazy.
insane.
Eke
हाँ हाँ
Teke, then
insane.
Kerkez, yeah, and
हम्म।
I mean
बहुत
it's
सारे
and
ऐसा बोल रहे थे, मैं ब्लेम नहीं करूंगा उनको, इवन
but
मैं
one
भी
thing I would
देखो।
blame, one thing I would blame. Sorry to cut you off, Darshan. By one thing, defense is horrible. Like you can't. There's no excuse for Virgil van Dijk. And what was that handball against PSV? Yaar? I really don't know.
अगेन
Oh man.
आई कैन नॉट डिफेंड वैन डाइक
Beautiful.
फॉर दैट कि भाई वो तो एकदम खराब था,
Up there,
वो तो मैं
oh,
मानूंगा।
I mean, like trying to defend with his hand up like this, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not someone who what you call him a Ballon d'Or contender. You call him, like they compare him to
All-time
John
great
Terry.
center back.
John Terry, bro.
अगेन यार देखो
Vidic.
टेंशन भाई, और मुझे ऐसा लगता है आप अगर 4 लोगों का काम पिछले 10 मैचों से कर रहे हो, या फिर आप फॉर एग्जांपल आप कंपनी में हो, आप आपके बाकी के 3 लोग हैं ना आपके टीम में, उतना ज्यादा इफेक्टिव नहीं है, आपको ही सब कुछ करना पड़ रहा है, आप ही सब कुछ सबमिट कर रहे हो, और फिर एक दिन ऐसा आ जाता है आपको होता है कि जाने दो, भाड़ में जाए, जो होगा देख लेंगे, वैसी वाली बात। अगेन आई एम नॉट डिफेंडिंग वैन डाइक, मगर
Yeah.
हमारा डिफेंस इज ऑल ओवर द प्लेस, एंड अगेन भाई
Mm.
वो तो गजब ही
दो लोगों
हो
का
गया।
काम एक
एंड
बंदा करना है तो रीस जेम्स से सीखना भाई।
Fan wars have started.
uh,
Saket by adding more salt to the wounds by saying, "Do not
Yeah.
forget VVD is
It's
working."
working.
But yeah, one final thought on Liverpool. That is the prediction score against Sunderland at home. Let's start with Shanmukh. What do you think, Shanmukh? Liverpool at home against giant killers Sunderland.
definitely not winning that game. I think Sunderland will win 1-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Darshan bhai, what do you think? This win acts as a good momentum as well. So
यार
I'm guessing you
सॉरी
would like
थोड़ा
to
बाहर नॉइज है, मगर मैं तो
take it.
एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूँ लिवरपूल जीते। ऑफ कोर्स सनडरलैंड इज परफॉर्मिंग वेरी वेल, आप ऐसा कह लो कि वन ऑफ द आप सरप्राइज ऑफ द सीजन जो बोलते हो वो परफॉर्मेंस आ रहा है सनडरलैंड से, बट अब नहीं जीतोगे तो भाई कब जीतोगे, मतलब अगेन अगर हार गए तो स्लॉट की जो पोजीशन है फिर से क्वेश्चन में आ जाएगी, तो वी नीड अ विक्ट्री।
Perfect. Krishnan bhai, your thoughts on
I'm going
Liverpool
for a
versus
nil-nil
Sunderland?
draw. I'm going for a nil-nil draw. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Interesting.
Okay.
So both
Perfect.
teams will come
So let's
close to scoring, but nobody will get through.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Perfect. So let's see what happens. Liverpool, I think, play Sunderland tomorrow, or yeah, I think they play them tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So let's see which of these predictions work. Let's now quickly move on to United.
United.
Yeah, let's move on to United. So when we started the season, United started their season against Arsenal, and we said one thing that United can emulate is how Arsenal have been building, but they have not
Mm.
been emulating that. But one thing that they have emulated is set piece, because one thing that we used to struggle against season after season after season is now our biggest potent weapon. Somehow we have found it in ourselves to be joint first in converting set pieces. Xerxes with his
Yeah.
first United goal in 25 matches. Mason Mount also. So two very unlikely heroes scoring and stopping Crystal Palace's 12-match unbeaten run. And also, this is United's first win against Crystal Palace since 2020. Shanmukh, take us through.
2020. It's been a while. Massive win, man. Honestly, away at Palace is always scary. Like you said, last time we won was in 2020, and Palace's 12-game unbeaten run. And coming off the back of that terrible 1-0 defeat at home against a 10-man Everton, and watching us go into halftime at a 1-0 loss, I thought it's all going down again. I thought we might end up losing this, but um, second half was probably um, it was as good as bad the first half was, if that makes sense. I think Amorim would have had a nice team talk, and it definitely helped. We played much better second half. Honestly, I was screaming at Zirkzee in the first half. I didn't think he was going to really score that day, but he managed to pull off something really incredible. So very happy for him. First goal in 25 games. Um, that's not great. I feel Zirkzee is not going to be a starter for us. Um, Maybe ever. He'll always be like a off the bench kind of person who can, bring some impact in the final 30 odd minutes of the game. But now we are having to rely on him, and I'm happy to see him score. But again, I don't know how well we'll be with him going forward in the coming few games. But anyway, his goal and then Mount again, Bruno and Mount combining for that free kick, brilliant goal. Again, free kicks. I think is that the 10th free kick goal I read somewhere we scored this season.
It's the
Is that
10th
true?
set piece goal, the 10th set piece goal
Sorry,
that we have.
10th set piece goal.
Yeah.
That I didn't, and
Seven
we
goals
scored
for
what 20 odd games, right? 20 odd goals, I think so far.
could be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
but
That's probably I would say 40% of our goals have been set pieces. That is surprising.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun little surprise. But overall, I would say really we needed that win, desperately needed that win because we can't go down the hill again after that Everton loss. Hopefully, that was a blip. Things have been looking good apart from that Everton game, at least as far as the results go. We've been doing pretty good, so I have no complaints there. Hopefully, keep this momentum going on.
Mhm. There was one, I think Alan Shearer also in his post match in BBC when he was bringing up the game, he said one thing, and I think that really stuck to me. So people with Amorim are talking a lot about the system, and I think pre-match also Glasner talked about it, which was very interesting. He said it's not like this is how I start the game with, but this is not
Yeah,
how it's always this is how it's not going to be always in the game. Based on the situation of the game, you have to be flexible in order to change. Now
yeah,
I think the game against Crystal Palace was a brilliant supposition of the entire hypothesis or whatever that Glasner said, because
mm,
the first half we played the same system without any intensity. Somehow Crystal Palace, who played Strasbourg in conference, had more intensity coming
yeah,
in the first half. So that's very
yeah,
surprising. And in the second half, obviously, we expected Palace to go, that intensity to go up. And when United players started throwing in those tackles and playing with more intensity, the system did actually look good. But what is
yeah,
still worrying, Shanmukh, for me as a person is why is this intensity missing in a first half when you have had the whole week to sit on your ass, number one. And number two, more importantly, where is our creation from open play? Because we haven't done so much. I mean, against Everton, we could see that, but only in the ending minutes. And against Crystal Palace, I don't think we created many open chances. So these two worries, do you want to show some light on that?
yeah. I mean, I feel the biggest problem with these players is complacency. The moment you start seeing that they're playing well, things are going our way. And I mean, Everton was a classic example. We, I mean, that game, we win that game, we would have been either third or fourth, depending on the goal difference by the end of the game, right? So the
Correct.
players might be thinking, oh, it's just Everton one game and we are in the Champions League spot already. So they took the foot off the pedal, right? And you could see that clearly. And this has happened time and time again. I mean, we perform so well against the top sides, and when you look at the teams in the bottom half of the table, and you sort of take it take it easy. The players take it lightly, and the opponents know that, and they do the opposite. They are all in the front foot. So this is a common pattern I've been seeing, not just across like these last couple of games, but a lot more games previously, and even the last seasons actually. And I mean, this sort of thing can't be trained on the a training ground, right? It's not like a system thing. It's intensity. It's about how much you want to win that game, right? What the shirt means to you, and you see a few players are there, especially with the new signings, Mbumo, Cunha. I would say Bruno, Delict. Who am I missing? Euro to a certain extent. But there's a crop of players in this squad who I feel aren't up to the mark in terms of the intensity and the desire, and then that sort of I think spreads within the team, so everyone sort of um, takes a step back, and the intensity, and that's when you start seeing goals going through, you're conceding chances, and stuff like this happens. So I think the biggest issue is complacency. The players need to put in as much effort, if not more, in like the smaller games, because those are the ones that they are expected to win, and you end up dropping points. How many times this season we've dropped points against teams which we should have beaten easily, and we've won against like Sunderland. We played really well against Arsenal. We beat Liverpool. We've gotten some really good results we thought we wouldn't have gotten, but then you end up dropping points against like Spurs, Everton, and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, just before we go to you, Darshan Bhai, Kevin says Xerxes vibe is what use the manager's decision mainly because lethargic, but scoring an unreal goal will be difficult to judge whether to sub him or keep him on, especially when Sesko is back. I think that basically echoed what Shanmukh said. He is a bit part player at the end, and more importantly, he himself didn't help himself when he said he's a 9.5, because his first instinct is to not go attack the ball and stand in the 9-yard box, but to drop back and help build up play. So he's rarely in the where a striker should occupy. He's not occupying those dangerous positions where a striker should occupy, and hence he is not exactly a target man. So that echoes. And then one more comment coming from Saket. West Ham are currently top 3 when it comes to having the worst defense. United should easily win this game. Saket Bhai, from our experience of supporting Man United, I can only tell you that this team surprises you when you even believe in them. Like for one, it's horrible when it comes to that. I wouldn't, like Shanmukh said, it's like they should make sure that complacency does not set in. And
एक्चुअली मैं थोड़ा अंदर यहाँ पे बोलूँ तो भाई वेस्ट हैम डेफिनेटली टॉप 3 में है वर्स्ट डिफेंस में, मगर नंबर ऑफ शॉट कंसीड एंड नंबर ऑफ एक्सजी कंसीड वाला जो स्टैट आता है ना, उसमें यूनाइटेड टॉप 6 में है भाई. मतलब अगेन वेस्ट हैम तो है ही खराब, मगर आपका भी डिफेंस हमारा भी है. हम 7th या 8th पे है लिवरपूल, मगर हाँ आप भी हो मेरे हिसाब से. मगर इफ आई आप कह लो ना कि छोटा सा रिमार्क डालू ऑन वेस्ट हैम गेम फॉर यू गाइस, मुझे लगता है कि आप जीत लो. पता नहीं क्यों मैं यूजुअली नहीं जाता विन के साथ, मगर आई थिंक वेस्ट हैम डोंट हैव इनफ क्वालिटी इन अटैक ऑनेस्टली, स्पेशली आफ्टर पकेतास रेड कार्ड. वो नहीं होगा. बोवन का थोड़ा फॉर्म वैसे भी शेकी जा रहा है, और अगेन यार वो अगर डिसाइड करे ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड यूनाइटेड के सामने टर्न अप करना तो अलग बात है, मगर मुझे उतना ज्यादा वो अटैकिंग थ्रेट नहीं लगे जब हम खेले उनके सामने. तो आई डोंट थिंक कि आपको बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत होगी. मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूँ कि आप जीतोगे. क्लीन शीट शायद ना रखो, वो नॉर्मल बात है, मगर मुझे लगता है कि यूनाइटेड जीतेगी मेरे हिसाब से. ये मुझे ऐसा
West Ham they've been the joint second when it comes to goals conceded this season. 27 goals they've conceded this season. So that Saket's point is valid, but at the same time, you can't really write off West Ham because they've got a 3-1 win over Newcastle. They beat Burnley. So really, really unpredictable. Yeah.
कुछ हो जाए तो मजा आ जाए, मगर
As I said,
Let
it's
the
really unpredictable, right? So, I mean,
Uh,
Paqueta's absence will be felt, no doubt about it. I would say, I mean, it's not going to be an easy win, but United should get through. It's not going to be a
I mean,
convincing win to be proud of, but yeah, eventually United will get through. So,
I mean,
shouldn't be a problem.
my biggest fear is the West Ham games in the past have not been kind to us. Eric Ten Hag basically got the sack after the West Ham game, and
all right.
also because of Dallo, what a miss in that game. That miss still haunts me in my
Oh,
sleep.
was it that
You
game?
remember
Okay.
that, Shanmukh? Yeah, yeah, the
Oh
open
yeah,
goal. But more
awesome.
importantly, one thing that I would differ from what Darshan and Krishan Bhai would say is that if West Ham sit back like how Everton did, if they do score a goal and if they do sit back, I think we have troubles breaking them up. Unless, because I think Cunha coming in would help that a bit more, but I'm not quite sure if he will start considering how Mount has performed.
Hmm.
But we struggle when we have to, press the accelerator and play the game on the front foot. I think we rather play well when the other team is on the front foot and we play off the counter attack, or when we have lesser possession. So that is my biggest concern going into that game. But yeah, hopefully as a United fan, I really want my team to do well against West Ham, but let's see. Yes, but Paqueta is a big miss. One last thing before we move on from United to Chelsea is one word on Bruno Fernandes, because uh, I mean, I just said here some of the things that everybody knows, but basically Bruno in this weekend surpasses Scholes and now rises fourth in United's history of most assists in the Premier League. And that stat on the third point, basically, Scholes did it in 466 matches, 55 assists, and the players that Scholes had around him under Sir Alex, and the players that Bruno has had to have, considering Igalo, Weghorst, one worse player of the other. I mean, Igalo was
Oh yeah.
quite good. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't blame him. But 208 matches, almost 50% less matches when compared to Scholes, and he surpassed Paul Scholes in the assist number. So, Shanmukh, one final word on Bruno Fernandes and what he means to this United team, and probably Darshan Bhai and Krishnan Bhai can also please chime in here.
Oh man. I think if Bruno wasn't there, I don't know where we'd be today. I remember when he signed for United. Instantly, he became my favorite player in the squad. Not that we had many players to pick from, because we weren't a great team, but clearly he became a fan favorite. And over the years, I can't believe it's been like 7 years or so. He's been standout, the top performer almost pretty much every season. He's been my favorite player um, by far ever since in the post Sir Alex Ferguson era. And there's no question that I think he is a Manchester United legend. I mean, more assists than Paul Scholes in today's Man United team says a lot, right? And not just that, he's scored over 100 goals now. I was just trying to see how many goals Paul Scholes has scored for United, and it's like 150 plus. And
Mhm.
Bruno is at 100, so he's 50 goals away. But I mean, look at the assists and what he's delivered for us, right? I would say he's the heartbeat of United. Now, ideally, I would love for him to not be as important in the team, because that would mean the responsibility is off his shoulders. There are other players who are performing as well, but he is sort of what De Gea was to United when he was there, right? A single player keeping us um, competitive in the league. However much we were, without him, we would have. I mean, I don't know where we'd be. And when I met Ole, I told him, I was like, "Thank you for signing Bruno." And he was like, "I've heard that so many times already today." That's what everyone had been telling him when he came down to Bangalore. Oh yeah, I mean, he's yeah, I love that guy.
I think having watched football in the Sir Alex Ferguson era and post Alex Ferguson era, right? I think the only player, as Shanmukh rightly said, since 2013 to 2025, now the last 12 years, 12 seasons, I think the only player, United player, to had an impact is Bruno Fernandes. You billions of, I mean, I wouldn't even say Paul Pogba because didn't
No
perform, didn't
chance.
live up to, yeah, no chance. But the only player you have to give credit as a rival fan is
Yeah.
he's literally stood up. He's literally got the team together, and I think, yeah, I think last 12 13 seasons, I think one of the best signings ever.
और ऊपर से भाई अब आप उसकी लीडरशिप क्वालिटी को भी बोलोगे, इस साल उसको चांस था अगर उसको जाना होता था, मगर
सही।
देखो अगेन एज अ राइवल फैन आप हमेशा बोलते हो कि यार मैं उतना ज्यादा पसंद नहीं करता हूँ ब्रूनो एज अ कैरेक्टर, मगर
Yeah.
आपको दिखता है ही लव्स मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड, वो क्लियरली दिखता है। तो अगर लिवरपूल बंदा किसी बंदे मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड प्लेयर को ना पसंद करता हो, उसका सिंपल सा मतलब है कि उसने यूनाइटेड के लिए बहुत अच्छा किया।
And you also have to
तो
realize one fact, right? See, it's easy for him to leave Liverpool, I mean, leave United this season and go elsewhere. But you have a
बिल्कुल।
World Cup spot. You have a World Cup. You have a World Cup next year, and to keep his form and everything, right? Going to a different country and trying to, you can't spend one season settling in a different country and having to play a World Cup next year also. So that's not going to be easy. So I think it was just wise for him to stay at United this season, and let's see what happens. Darshan bhai, before you leave, right, I just had one stat for you. The first 3-4 weeks of this season, right, Liverpool used to score in the 87th minute, 88th minute, and all of those things, right? If you remove all those goals that used to happen, Liverpool would be 19th in the Premier League right now.
हाँ, अरे वही है ना भाई, इफ एंड बट से यूज करते हैं हम, तो भाई हम प्रीमियर लीग चैंपियन भी नहीं होता ना पिछले सीजन। तो अगेन इफ एंड बट्स नहीं काम करते, जो हुआ है। मैं बिल्कुल बोलूंगा, देखो एट स्टार्ट ऑफ द सीजन मैं बोल रहा था कि मेंटालिटी मॉन्स्टर्स ये सब कुछ वो वापस हो रहा है, मगर फाइनली आई हैव टू, आप कह लो ना कि होल्ड माय हैंड, जो भी बोलते हैं, और आपको कहना पड़ेगा वी वर लकी इन फ्यू गेम्स जहां पे आपने लास्ट मिनट विनर डाल दिए और इंडिविजुअल ब्रिलियंस ने आपको कैरी कर लिया। मगर उसके बाद के जो 5 गेम हैं वहां पे दिख गया कि भाई हर मैच में आप ऐसे लास्ट मिनट विनर नहीं डाल सकते। अगेन अभी भी टाइम है कि हम टॉप 5 बना सकते हैं, तो मैं तो अभी भी होप रखूंगा स्लॉट के अंदर, और होप करता हूँ कि जितना जल्दी हम वापस से रिदम में आ जाए उतना अच्छा। बस उतना बोलूंगा इस पे। तो
थैंक यू
चलो,
सो मच दर्शन भाई फॉर जॉइनिंग अस। मतलब बहुत मज़ा आ गया। इट्स नॉट जस्ट आपने लिवरपूल के बारे में बात किया, बट मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली अपने एनालॉजीज डाले थे और जैसा आप फैक्ट्स प्रेजेंट किए थे, बहुत मज़ा आ गया। सो थैंक यू सो मच दर्शन भाई फॉर
मजा
जॉइनिंग अस।
आया आप लोगों के साथ भी बात करने को। हाँ, बहुत ही मजा आया। चलो मिलते हैं, बाय।
Thank you, Darshan bhai.
थैंक यू
Thank you,
Have a
दर्शन
good
भाई।
evening. See you.
Bye. Take care.
Perfect. Yeah, just before we jump on to Chelsea, I just wanted to say Saket, I think, has brilliantly summarized what Darshan and Krishnan Bhai was saying. Bruno is the kind of guy whose face you want to punch if he's in your rival team, but will be out and cheered if he's in your
Such a
team. Thank you so
crybaby,
much.
man. Such a crybaby. Not even funny. It's
Very
like,
true.
yeah.
Very
Thank
true.
you so much, Saket Bhai, for that wonderful comment. I think it couldn't have been better put. Yes, let's move on to Chelsea now. Krishnan bhai, take it away. I just put some points together before that I wanted to touch up to. One of the most fiery matches I've seen, and I didn't know that Chelsea would adopt to play that kind of a match. I was thinking Chelsea would bait upon Arsenal and see what chances come. But they really wanted to play front foot, and it was very much seen that they also not just play front foot, but they wanted to play the match on a very high physical level. And probably one of the repercussions of that was Caicedo's red. But what really that was very inspiring to me, and also says a lot about the mentality of that team, was even though Caicedo saw red, the match was still being played at that intensity and that physicality, and something that Chelsea should really be very proud of. But the match itself was very, very stop-start. It was very difficult. I don't know if Chelsea had planned it that way in order to stop a fluid Arsenal, and also the referee Anthony Taylor didn't help with 7 yellows and 1 red. So
I think so. Right from the start of the game, I think the first yellow card was given to Kukurea, and right, with Anthony Taylor, cards are bound to fly. So that was something known. But if you look at it from a perspective, right, right from the start, when it was 11 versus 11, Chelsea were aggressive, Chelsea were physical. Okay, and just when at 35 minutes, when you saw that Caicedo got a red card, you thought it would be advantage Arsenal. But in a way, that the 10-man thing suited Chelsea, because they're known to be defensive, right? They're known to be defensive. If you look at all of their previous, they've won titles being defensive. They've been called as parking the bus. They've been called for being defensive, and that is their strength, right? And they did not let passes to Arsenal passes to flow easily. And we spoke about it over the weekend also. If Arsenal concede the first goal, it will be really difficult for them to come back. And that's exactly what happened, right? When Arsenal conceded first, I think it was Chelsea only conceded because they had a man down. So, and I think Reece James was phenomenal in that game. The entire game was about who's better. Was it Caicedo was better, or Rice is better? But Reece James was totally out of the picture, and he proved everyone wrong. And one underrated thing that I would like to mention is Malo Gusto did his job as a right back, because of which Reece James was able to concentrate his role in the midfield. So, this is something that, this is Chelsea's identity, playing the defensive football, not allowing teams to score. Even Liam Delap's substitution was more of a tactical one, because he's an old school number 9 striker. His job was to just defend the long balls, or just hit the long balls. And one thing is improved. In the last 6 games, we've had 4 clean sheets and we've conceded 3 goals. We've conceded 2 against Karabakh and 1 against Arsenal. So one thing that is really, really improved is Robert Sanchez handling the ball and distribution of the ball. If you've observed in the last 6-7 games, Sanchez actually comes forward to, he intercepts a cross by, that's how he holds the ball, and his distribution has been really great. Now, because of which the 2 wingers that we have, Neto on one side and Esteva on one side, are able to run riot on either of the wings. So in football, you often look at contributions as only goals and assists. But one thing that is not looked at is off the ball contribution.
True.
Neto brings it with his pace. Esteva brings it with his skill. Enzo Fernandez, creates a lot of space in the midfield, for others to run around. So these are the things that aren't talked about as much as I would like them to be. And as a team, we have grown a lot. I think a couple of minutes back, I mentioned the pressure that Caicedo and Enzo had when they came in, right, at the start of the 23 January transfer window. The amount of pressure that they had, they did take time to settle in. And clearly now, Enzo and Caicedo are one of the top, 3-4 best players in the Premier League right now. And Caicedo is one of the top DMs in world football right now. So, this is a lot. It's not. I would not say that this credit belongs to one. I think it's an entire unit. We are coming together, and also Reece James and Neto have stayed injury free. Reece James in the last 2-3 seasons has been really bad with his injuries, and so has Pedro Neto when he was with Wolves. And in the last 1 year, Reece James has been injury free, and which is the key, not just for Chelsea but also for England in the future, right? Like Thomas Tuchel would really have a good headache in picking his squad for the 2026 World Cup. So I think this is something that if we continue in the next December, we have tricky fixtures in December. We have Aston Villa home and Newcastle away. To me, these two are by far the most tricky fixtures. If you're able to navigate these two, and Arsenal have 9 games, pretty tricky ones as well. If they drop points and we really have a chance to go on top of the league. I'm not saying winning title, I'm just saying we have a good chance to go on top of the league. In terms of red
Brilliant.
cards, is this worrisome? I would say no. I would really say no, because one is the squad depth that we have. Yeah. I'm not too worried, right? Caicedo's going to miss. Caicedo's going to miss 3 games. Okay, I don't have to worry. I have Andre Santos in. Yeah, Cole Palmer is coming back to get some game time. So red card, I mean, it is not worrisome, right? Like injuries are more worrisome than red cards, if you ask me. Yeah. So I mean, I'm really glad that we are coming to close to challenging for a title, because I've mentioned this before in a couple of other forums as well. By mid-Jan, if Arsenal have a 6-point or an 8-point lead, consider the title race to be done and dusted then and there. There is no, things cannot change beyond that. So anything that December is going to be an extremely crucial month for like 2-3 clubs. It's like literally a make or break for everybody, for Arsenal, for Chelsea, even for City as well, right? City are extremely reliant on Haaland right now. One injury to Haaland and their entire season is gone.
Yeah.
So
some very good points, Krishnan bhai, and also just going through the comments while you were talking, I think Kevin really echoed what you said. Reece James' injury record might be the main decider of how well Chelsea can maintain this form. This is exactly what you said, Krishnan bhai. Rahul says 11v11, Chelsea win that one easily. This is without Palmer. Once they get him back, they are one to watch for a late title charge. That's what Rahul says. Saket, on the other hand, says we are not the title contenders.
Being humble. Yeah, I'm saying that we're not title contenders.
The second comment is even better. Just wait for our Robin Hood moment.
We've had enough Robin Hood moments already this season. I regret throwing away points to Brighton and Sunderland. If not United,
United by exactly at United as well.
No. United, because we lost Rob Sanchez at an early stage, fine, I understand. But we shouldn't have dropped points versus Brighton and Sunderland. So those were the 2 games which are like a must-win games for us. And see, like as I said, right, like for us, getting goals is never the problem for us. Esta is pitched in for Palmer. Yeah. So I think the squad depth is really, really helping us. And we are not building a squad for this season. It's a squad that we are building for the many years to come. Quenda is going to come to us next season. Dastan Satpev is going to come to us next season. So it's not just Emega as well, right? So it is not a squad for only today. It is a squad for the next few seasons as well. However, one thing that has been really, really impressive is how our defense has stepped up, right? So when Colville was injured at the beginning of the season, I think it was more worrisome than Palmer being injured. Let me be very honest with you. Yeah. Because I know if Palmer is not there, you have Estevao, you have Pedro Neto, you have 7 other players in that for that one position. But for Colville, right, like he was the key for our defense for the entirety of last season. And because Colville was injured, I think it was, a scary part. But I think Fofana is slowly coming back to form. Fofana had his share of injuries as well. He's coming back to form as well. And Chalobah, I think, has been really, really, they've all stepped up. So I think as a defensive unit, we are improving. However, there is work to be done as well. Yeah, as I said, we've had 4 clean sheets in the last 6 games. Sanchez has been really, really, really good. He's put a lot of haters into silence right now. He's literally cemented that number 1 spot. Yeah, in Europe as well as in the Premier League as well. Yeah, unlike last season, Felipe Jorgensen used to play for Europe and Sanchez used to play for Premier League. But this season, it's been Sanchez completely on and on everywhere. So as a defensive unit, we are improving. And, it's exciting times for us. However, December could be a very, very, very tricky and challenging month for us. If we manage to win Newcastle away and Aston Villa home, we really have a good chance to fight for the title. I'm not going to say that we are going to win. I'm just going to say that we are going to have a good chance to fight for the title.
Yeah. Newcastle away has been Newcastle away has been one of the most difficult games for all teams, including we saw what happened with City. I mean, Newcastle
Yes.
themselves going away on the road have been quite poor, but at home it's a bastion. But quickly, just before we also end the stream, one question. I mean, we saw the Chelsea perspective, and I want to bring you, Shanmukh, your thoughts here. You as Arsenal are chasing the title, and you have this brilliant opportunity, the team that's closest to you in terms of challenging for the title. 20 minutes at home, they are down to 10 men, and you have the chance to take the game to them. So did you feel that it was very passive from Arsenal from that, or they kept trying and things didn't work out? Or would you praise us, Chelsea, more on being resolute and not allowing Arsenal so many chances?
I mean, if a 10-man Chelsea can prevent you from scoring a goal, and the way Arsenal have been this season,
Yeah,
you have to give credit to Chelsea's defending there, right? As Krishnan was saying, Chelsea's defense has always been a strength and they're a part of their identity. Um, so I'm really impressed by Chelsea, not just in this game alone, but the fact that they are second in the league, if I'm not wrong, and they have a good chance of fighting for this third now. Okay, good chance of fighting for this title. I feel Chelsea might be an underdog. People did not expect Chelsea to be in contention. People would have thought it would be Arsenal or City. But now Chelsea is showing that they are here to stay. And like Krishnan said, if December goes well for them, January comes along, and you never know, you might be in a title charge with Arsenal and
Provided
Chelsea, maybe City.
provided we sign one center back in January, because
Hmm.
at the beginning of this season, right, everybody was so excited about our transfer window, but
Hmm.
I think I rated this transfer window as 5 on 10 because we did not make any additions to our defense.
Hmm.
Yeah, the only defensive signing that we had was Jarageto from Ajax. That was the
Ajax.
only defensive signing that we had, and that is not enough, right? Like, because see, attack might win you games, attack might get you goals, but a strong defense is what is going to put you in a title charge or put you in a contention for a title, and which did not happen for us. Yeah, so even now, I think I stand by my point to say that we've not had a great transfer window. I think if come January, if you're able to sign at least one or two center backs, yeah, a solid center back, someone like a Bastoni, or I don't know, center backs don't come that easily in the transfer market. So if you're able to sign one, two solid center backs, then you have a solid chance to push for a title. Because
Hmm.
see, one thing I'll have to accept is we have had our fair share of injuries in the last 2-3 seasons. Yeah. The number of games that Fofana has missed and number of games Reece James has missed has been unreal. Okay. Touchwood, Reece James has been injury free since November 2024. It's been exactly 1 year since he got injured. I don't mean to jinx it, but yeah, you never know, right? What happens. So one injury to any of the, like how Saket has mentioned, right? One injury to Fofana or Chalaba, we're screwed. We're screwed horribly. We're screwed. Yeah. So we need to bolster our defense. Yeah, probably Gueye as well. Yeah. We need to really, really bolster our defense. And if you're able to sign one, two center backs, yes, you can challenge for the title, but that does not going to guarantee you a trophy yet. But we still have a long, long way to go. As I said, we're not building a squad for today. It's a work in progress, and we will get better with the seasons to come.
Brilliant. One final thought on, you said some very important fixtures, Krishnan, by Newcastle away and Aston Villa at home. But the
Yeah.
immediate next fixture for Chelsea is Leeds away, which can, on its day, be quite tricky at Ellen Road. Especially as a United fan, we know Ellen Road can be quite a tricky place. Not that we've not had success there. We do tend to do well, but the fans really get behind Leeds. And I mean, what do you think about that game and
Mind you,
Chelsea's chances?
over the weekend, Leeds gave City a run for their money.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
not an easy one. It was really not an easy one for City. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it
Was
is
that
going to
at
be a
City or was that
Yeah.
away?
That was at, I think, no, that was
Etihad.
at City, I think. That
That
was
was
at
at
Etihad,
Etihad.
yeah.
That was at Etihad. That
Oh,
was at Etihad. Yeah.
wow.
So it's not going to be an easy game. Caicedo's presence is definitely going to be missed. Andre Santos will have to come in and fill in that role. Yeah. I mean, in terms of attack, uh, we have Joao Pedro, we have Giu, who would probably get some minutes during this midweek game as well. So it's not going to be an easy game, but eventually I think Chelsea will win 1-0. Yeah. Uh, Leeds will definitely put up a fight at home. Yeah. We know how Daniel Fark can be with his tactics as well. The entire crowd, home support is going to matter a lot in this game. So I would say a 1-0 win for Chelsea, and I think the clean sheet streak will continue. We are getting better by the day in terms of defense as well. So I expect us to have a clean sheet and a 1-0 victory. So yeah.
Shanmukh, your thoughts on that?
I have a feeling Leeds might score and it'll end up in a draw on one.
Okay, so let's see what happens. And Kevin, I think, has put up a really nice comment where he says December is the month, as per Premier League history, that segregated the Premier League contenders from pretenders. That's a brilliant end to, also a brilliant comment to end the live stream, because we are entering December, and the December run of fixtures and the fixture congestion, as they say, starts. And this time the fixture congestion also comes in confluence with the start of AFCON. So a lot of the players who represent their countries or the African nations will be away. So it really will be a test of squad character, how
Yeah.
teams respond to injuries, to players going away from AFCON, to suspensions, to VAR, to referees having day offs, and more importantly, players now having day offs, not just on the field but getting sent off themselves. So yeah, December is going to be an exciting month, and can't wait to bring this all for all the football fans. And thank you so much, Shanmukh and Krishnan Bhai, for joining us today. As always, I can't thank you enough for also accepting the invitation at a very short notice, I have to say. And I thought I really, really enjoyed this conversation. It's been 1.5 hours, but I really didn't feel that time has passed. But although this could be a very different story in India, so I'm guessing you guys are almost touching 12 now. So
12:01 now.
Yeah, 12:01. No, it was
Yeah.
fun, Hari. Thank you so much for getting us on here. A fun chat. Looking forward to the upcoming game week. Now, December is full of 1:30 a.m. kickoffs, which is something I'm not looking forward to in this cold.
yeah.
But we will see. If United wins, then it will be worth it. If not, I'm going to curse them.
Absolutely. So please, all the viewers who are still watching us, thank you so much for commenting, and please check out Shanmukh's page. He's doing, as I've always at the start of the live stream said, he's been doing fantastic work. And if anybody is interested in making your sporting memory that is very special to you, want a portrait of it, or hang in your living room, or wherever you need it to be, even in your office space, for example, Shanmukh is the guy to reach. So reach out to him. And if at the middle of the night you do forget any of your stats, then you can reach out to Krishnan Bhai. His socials are also there in the description. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining. Abhijit joins in by saying, great stream, boys. Thanks for the insightful preview to the exciting December EPL. Thank you so much, Abhijit, for that comment. And I just want to say again, thanks to everybody who's been watching, commenting, and engaging, and also off the stream, sending messages of support. As I said, this is something that we are trying new, live stream as well. So hopefully that works out well. And thank you to the guests. And as we always say at this end of this channel, because it's called Football Corner Pod, we say take care, stay safe, and be aware of any corners taken quickly, especially if you're a Man United or a Barcelona fan. Yeah. Have a nice one, guys. See you. Yeah. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye.
Hari. Thanks,
Bye.
Krishnan. Have a good
Bye. Bye.
evening.
Bye. Bye.
Good
Good
night.
evening.
Bye bye.
Good night. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.